What do you think about the content the big Anitubers are creating? Truthfully.
Well, to tell you the truth, I mean, basically, without them, we wouldn't actually be here. And I really don't have anything against them per se. I just don't really like them. Also, I prefer, being a person that actually is loyal and true to the fan base, along with the fandoms that actually made, all of this possible. But we gotta actually be a little more open to like other things outside of like mainstream. You need, broaden your horizons a little bit. Don't just actually settle on one thing and just say, "Oh, I'm good." No, 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 no. There's a vast sea out there. You need to explore deeper options. Heck, I've actually gave my thoughts about like Redo a Healer, all 12 episodes on my channel. Okay, I mean, I actually still stand by what I say about Redo a Healer. I really enjoy the anime. Nobody should actually, have anything against it. I can totally understand if you disagree with me. That's fine. Those are just my opinions. Everybody should actually have a right to actually, have a different opinion of what a person is saying. If you don't like something, just walk away from it. You don't have to give it any mind. You don't need to go out of your way and try to cancel it because, oh, this is offensive. We need to actually just put this. We need to actually put this in the ground and walk away from it like nothing ever happened.
Do you feel that because Redo of a Healer has gotten a mostly negative response from the Anitube community that is based on trying to adhere to what the mainstream would want to see. For a lot of people, Redo of a Healer has questionable content. For some people, they absolutely love it because it's like a dark fantasy along the lines of what we've seen in Game of Thrones and other more modern series where you're taking risk and you're telling a somewhat different story or an interesting story. But for a lot of the Anitubers, they're just trying to tear it down. Do you think that's the direction they're going to be going? Just going with whatever the mainstream feels is acceptable and making that content to adhere to it?
Okay, I am going to keep this a buck 50 here. Basically, let me just actually be completely blunt with you. These people trying to cancel Redo or like the Rising of the Shield Hero is another so-called controversial, and I'm using air quotes on this because it's actually controversial because the normies and the mainstream media, they just actually love to poke their gender identity politics and unnecessary LGBT plus representation into whatever they want because let's just admit it. The freaking mainstream like news outlets like Anime News Network, CBR, or like, any other sites, they're just actually, trying to play the so-called, the holier than thou type narrative. I'm using air quotes on holier than thou. So let me just actually be blunt with you as well here. We should actually have a right to actually enjoy much more darker content like Akira, whether it's actually Redo a Healer, basically anything outside the mainstream, because basically mainstream is just absolutely vanilla. It's just like bland. I prefer, it's like I prefer spicy food. Anything that actually just burns my tongue and just makes it, oh, makes it, freaking makes it more wonderful and delicious.
Do you think that we're going to get a mainstream series that pushes the button like Redo or even like Goblin Slayer or series like that, but is actually something that's accepted by the mainstream? Maybe it's the quality of the story, or maybe it's written by an author that is already pre-established in mangaka circles. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion. But what do you personally think?
To tell you the truth, I'm gonna have to say I doubt it because basically, if it actually ever actually comes out and people start talking about it, I know I'll talk about it because I'm much more into the darker stuff.